Go ahead.
Did you just tell me to go ahead?
Go ahead. You like to bring in the show.
You told me to go ahead. That's pretty funny.
You like to talk. We know it.
I don't know. Sometimes I try and let you bring in the show, but you're right. It doesn't feel right if I don't do it. So
hello, everybody.
Oh yeah, hello everybody.
Friends.
Not Trey. Hello everybody.
There we go. And then hello Trey. Okay.
In all seriousness,
that was enough of that.
How are you, my man?
Good.
Yeah.
I've got a headline that jumped out at me today.
We should just tell you right now that every show
screamed. This one just
okay.
It screamed our name.
Okay, headline. Do it.
So, it probably bring up stories of any embarrassing things that have ever happened to you sexually. But
I have no embarrassment. It's all been
good.
Grade A. I don't even know, but it's been good.
So it starts off, and I could end it right here and it'd be funny, but it starts off with girlfriend farts.
Yeah, just stop.
While boyfriend performs oral sex.
Oh, no. You've heard that about dudes that fart while they're getting blown.
Yeah.
But this girl, okay.
Gets better.
Okay. I mean, that's funny enough, but I hope that this isn't like an intro headline. I mean, it's got to be more to it.
Yeah, so the fart blasted fecal matter littered with bits of peanuts into his mouth, setting off a nut allergy.
Yes. My God.
Yes.
If anybody is not watching, I have my hands above my head.
Holy
and
crap.
I'm in shock.
So, of course, the first comment is says, haters will say it's fake. I call it love.
Hey, hold on. Did he have to go to the emergency room, or did it just did it just swell him up?
We don't have story details.
Yeah,
it's just the headline.
Okay, I'm just gonna imagine.
Can you imagine that shit though? Literally. Did I use it right?
You did.
Okay.
For my story though, he's just swollen. He's like, "What's wrong, babe?"
Honey, did you eat peanuts? It says she's being charged with attempted assassination. This will all be a bit nutty.
Okay, I actually like that one, even though it was so stupid.
You can't eat at everybody's house.
Okay.
So you're saying when a female nuts, it's deadly.
God.
He died doing what he loved.
Okay, fair enough. If he died, we don't know if he died.
There's nothing in reference to Florida in here, so I can't really.
Well, let's just say he's in Florida. You know, I tell people all the time, like, hey, check out the show and, whatever. And if every show, this is, it's not like they're going to go, oh, well, this is a little too much. I'm going to check out another show. It's every show. Yeah. This is the kind of shit that,
You're welcome.
That we open.
I literally laughed at that when I saw that. God, I was like, oh my God, I've got to save this one.
Okay, you don't even have to add the nut part. She just sprayed. Okay, you know what? I've had enough of that. And I think everybody's okay with that. If I took a poll, if I did a social media poll right now, and said, was 3 minutes enough to talk about nutty fecal matter during oral sex?
Can you imagine the guys thinking, oh shit, I have a nut allergy, and this can really happen this way?
Oh God.
So yeah. Ooh.
Is that embarrassing, or are you like, yeah, I got a nut allergy because
it's a great story.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, we're done.
Oh shit.
We're out of there. Okay. Speaking of stories, I have a lot of stories tonight, and I say that because I'm excited for the show because I really think there's a lot of good. I'm so adamant about laughing again, dude. I want everyone to just have fun.
Right.
And you and I, we pull up these stories, and we get people that are like, oh, and I'll bitch again. Don't laugh at people dying. If you don't feel like dying, don't laugh about people that do this, or don't laugh at this. But there are things that are just funny, and you've got to be able to laugh, or the world will eat you up. Don't you agree with that?
I agree with that. Yeah.
And then again, I'm with the comedians that are just Chappelle and all these guys that are like, what are we supposed to say? Come on. So anyway. So I've got a couple of these tonight that we'll go through off and on, and we'll do them quickly because, again, that's all we need, right? We don't need to dive deep into it because who gives a shit? And I'm going to give you an example of that right now. The first story I have for you is titled Choking Hazard.
Choking hazard.
And I'm not going to give you all the details of the guy and where he's from. I'll tell you he's in Kentucky.
So not Florida.
Not Florida.
Okay.
Apparently, this guy pulled through a drive-through at McDonald's. We've all done that at one point or another. This gentleman drove through, and as he's leaving, it's like in a shopping. I'm sorry, I hit the mic. It's in like a shopping center area with a lot of other stuff going on around it. It's not like standalone. So he leaves, and you know how we all take that fry. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, right away you're just like, oh man,
Go ahead and grab a fry.
Fries,
Absolutely.
they smell amazing. Well, he chokes. He can't breathe. The person who's in the passenger seat tries to like Heimlich him in the car, and they swerve into an Enterprise rent-a-car parking lot and take out like 12 cars.
Holy shit.
Just straight away. He's going like 50 miles an hour trying to get this french fry out of his
50
throat.
yeah, because we need to go.
No, 50. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, let's go faster.
Yeah, well, it's like you're going
Freaking out.
You're freaking out, and this. I guess I'm assuming it was his wife or girlfriend was like trying to like
Punch him in the chest.
him and like hit him, and he's like choking on a French fry, and it just got me thinking like, is that funny or not? Based on the last couple of shows where I've talked about should we laugh or not?
Did he die?
No.
Okay.
It
Then
was
it's funny
hilarious.
as shit. Yeah.
Even if he died, it might be funny.
Yeah.
But the Enterprise rent-a-car parking lot is what got me. I just picture this car swerving and just taking
Just
like
hitting every car.
like bowling pins, just knocking all these cars as he's flying through here trying to get this fry out. He didn't die. Eventually, the fry got expelled from his throat. However,
that's terrible.
the point of this, ladies and gentlemen, is that here at Stay in the Gray podcast, we want you to be safe when you get your French fries at drive-thru. Look, fast food. There's nothing wrong with fast food. It's healthy until you choke on the French fry.
Holy shit!
We support fast food until
I get
you
it's
choke.
a good fry, but come on.
Let me give you another one. I was going to wait to do another story, but let's do another story.
Absolutely.
Because it's kind of right here, and it's
and it's our show, so
it's our show, and I'm adding this to. I don't think Trey even knows that this was going to happen. But imagine this. Well, Trey and I are all about visualization on this show.
Right.
So we laugh. It's because we're seeing something in our mind that's funny. When the lady died from the pack of weenie dogs, it wasn't that she died. It was the visualization of the weenie dogs attacking the
legs,
woman.
yeah.
Like, you know, like
a little just kind of hopping around.
I mean, first off, we've already been through it. Get to higher ground. Second off, can you not outrun these things? Their legs are like 2 inches tall.
Just step up on the curb.
Anyway, that's fun. Yeah, the curb. And if not the curb, maybe a stoop.
Yeah, something.
Just
raise your leg up.
Just get in your car. So this one is funny because it's a guy. He's fleeing, and he was wanted for assault with a deadly weapon. But he was in a golf cart.
Okay.
And there was a 35-minute slow speed chase. I kid you not. This guy, and he had his dog with him.
Holy shit!
So imagine this:
a line sitting next to him.
Yeah, he's just sitting there. A line of cop cars, and they can't because he's not quite slow. It's like 19 miles an hour from what I'm reading. 19 miles an hour, so it's not quite.
I didn't know a golf cart could get up to 19.
Yeah, yeah. Let's try it next time.
Let's see.
Tip this shit over.
Let's prove it.
So just imagine this, because I guess you're not the protocol for the cops, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but the protocol, what I think is they're not supposed to, because that it's wide open. Like if they took him out, he didn't do enough to like warrant being like killed.
I'm just picturing a cop running past the golf cart real quick and throwing the spikes out.
No. They said they used spikes.
Holy shit!
But it didn't work on the golf
of course
cart.
not.
Right. But I'm just visualizing this cop pull over, like running out of the car. So they chased him. Well, they rode behind him and formed a line. I should say for 35 minutes.
Was it cop car?
Yeah. So imagine that. I think it said there were like 8 to 10.
They couldn't pull next to him on each side and one in front.
What?
Come on.
Why did it take 35 minutes? So what happened was, it was simple. The guy, he went into a parking lot, realized there was no more road. Dead end parking lot.
Kept going?
No, he stopped and got out and left the dog, by the way.
My God.
Bastard.
What an asshole.
And he ran, and of course they tackled him, and they said they treated him for unknown injuries, and his unwitting canine was returned to the suspect's family.
Well, because that's what. Did they say what he did?
It was armed assault with a deadly weapon.
He ended up in a golf cart.
So it's not about the crime, Trey. It's not about what happened to him. It's not that he got injured. It's the visualization.
Those cop cars behind him.
Was he driving like this with the golf, like real serious with the golf cart, 19 miles an hour?
The dog's just sitting there nice and still.
He's like, calm down. You're okay.
Chill out. That's
so
crazy.
that I wanted. So there was my.
Nobody died.
Nobody died. So these are the types of stories you got to laugh at because this guy. I think he's serving time and whatever. But
did you already say this one's in Florida?
No, this one actually didn't say.
Oh.
It was actually you know what? It was L.A., which
that makes sense.
That's Florida. That's like fine. Florida Part 2.
Yeah, Florida
LA.
West.
Yeah, Florida way west. So anyway, so those are the two. Kind of, we'll start with that. What do you think?
I like it.
All right, let's go from laughter to sorrow, and then laughter again, because Trey and I want to give a little props. We want to talk about a man that I think needs more credit than he's taking, and what I mean by that, and I'll get to it. I always try to set things up, don't I? I can't just say. We're going to talk about Matthew Perry.
Yes,
we have to, right? Everybody's doing this. Everybody's going to talk about it, but you know what? So are we, and I think it deserves. It's one of the first people that's passed away that I think Trey and I both, for our generation, we know enough about. A lot of people pass away. They're old, maybe the generation before, so we don't know enough to really give a good tribute. And this isn't a huge tribute because we don't want to take up that much time with it. But it sucks.
Yeah,
he's 54. This guy, anybody that, is there anybody listening that doesn't know what Friends was or
right.
Chandler Bing was on Friends? I'm sorry, go look it up. Go watch one episode and then we'll see you after 10 seasons because you're going to want to watch the rest.
Right.
And he was fantastic, and he was an iconic character. There's been nobody kind of like him with his mannerisms. People say I kind of used his mannerisms for a while, and that's because I watched it so much. Let me tell you, the other night, you know what? Last night, you were like, oh, I'm going to wind down before bed, and I need something to cheer me up.
Yeah.
I want to laugh, and Friends is on, and you keep it on. And he's one of the main parts of that show that just, he just doesn't, I don't think he realized it. So what I mean by that is, so he was found, and this is where the story gets crazy because I don't know, we've said it a million times. I'm going to keep an eye on this, but I really am. It's Matthew Perry. Somebody found him in his jacuzzi above the water, and they were saying that he drowned, but he was found sitting above. That part doesn't make any sense unless somebody found him and they pulled him up and then called or something like that, which is probably what happened.
Probably, yeah.
Said he was found by a neighbor. So if I was the neighbor, I'd get him out from under the water and see if it was recent, and then I'd call and I'd be afraid to mess
touch
with
him again.
else. Yeah. And so he passed away, and he had everybody probably knows he had a big problem with addiction. He had a problem with alcohol. He had a problem with all these things, and so he wrote a lot of little pieces, whether they were letters or things to himself or that people are finding or seeing. And I read one where he said all he wanted, and this kind of sucks because it's just not, he's right. It's not going to happen. He said, I know it's not going to happen, but I'd rather be remembered for other things besides friends.
That's hard.
And what he was saying was he did so much for charities and for foundations and startups for people that had substance abuse problems and things like that. And he did a lot for the community, which he did.
Right.
And he wanted to be remembered for that. But the bottom line, and whether it's sad or not, it's true. People aren't remembered for that unless you were affected by it specifically.
Yeah.
And so my comment to you, I think we talked a little bit about this, was, well, he needs to realize that his performance and his brilliance on the show Friends allowed him to do these things.
Right.
It allowed him to have an impact in the way that he wanted to. And he has no idea how many people probably are like-minded to us or to me, what I was just talking about. I can't tell you how stressed out I get sometimes with kids. I mean, everybody does. Money or kids or this or that or whatever, and you just feel bad, and all you need is something to pick you up. And I can't tell you how many times that guy has picked me up just listening to him, just some of this shit over the years, and it never got old. His character never got old.
Right.
And most of those characters never got old, which is why it was so successful. So anyway, I wanted to let everybody know that that's kind of what's going on. That Matthew Perry, that's what happened, and that I think he's being hard on himself to say that his performance in Friends was just meh, and he wanted to be remembered otherwise, because I think he doesn't realize just how much of an impact his performance had. So, do you have anything to add to the Matthew Perry?
No, just like you said. I mean,
no.
And kind of what you said, it just kind of piggyback is you feel bad for all the demons he must have had and what he went through and stuff like that. And it's weird because you think about these actors and stuff like that. It's like they don't have problems, right? They've got money. They're okay, And my girlfriend actually has had me watch a couple of documentaries and stuff here recently about David Beckham and about Johnny Manziel. And it's like you don't realize all the shit they go through behind the scenes, and they're real people too, So this addiction and the drugs and the pills, it's like what led him to that? Did he ever say? Was it depression? Was it just handling the fame, what led him to that? But whatever it was, it's terrible to think, did this lead to all the damage that was done by the pills and the drugs and and the alcohol and all the stuff that got him to this point? So I don't know if I rambled on too much, but yeah, I sit there. I'm like, thank God Trey's talking. I've been talking for 20 minutes. But the same thing is, I'll lay down at night and it's like, I need something to, you just kind of put a smile on my face before I go to bed. And sure enough, there's Friends, turn it on.
I don't know whether it's, at this point, maybe with his passing, it's neat, but normally it's dorky. I can quote, I could sit here and quote. I look, if you told me a scene, I could probably tell you which season it was, and probably even further, like close to what episode it was.
Pivot
was season 6 or 7.
That's
6
my
or 7.
favorite
That's
scene.
close, right?
Love that scene.
Everybody loved the pivot scene with the sofa and Ross's sofa, and Chandler just freaks out on him, and I won't do it, but and then it's just something. It was a very special show overall. And to have him, and they did a reunion and they all kind of talked, and he was very awkward, and out of all of them, he was just kind of
really,
you could tell. And I think to answer what you were saying about the substance abuse, it's some people, they don't, you say, oh, I can't handle the fame, you have money. People go, well, poor you have all this money, you have nothing to worry about. I think it's just that it's easier access because you have so much money, and you got some time in between seasons, or you got whatever, and all of a sudden you feel good on some of this stuff.
Yeah.
You start drinking, and alcoholism's a real deal with everybody. It doesn't matter how much money you have. People that, don't have any money find a way to drink. It's just, it's there, and then you mix that with, I think his was Vicodin. It was something where when you mixed it, and it was just beating his body up.
I just heard reference to, I guess my boss was telling me today that his colon exploded at some point because of the damage that was done. So he had was it colonoscopy?
Colonoscopy.
There we go. Colonoscopy. There we go. He had one of those bags that he had to wear around.
Yeah.
But, and then another weird thing.
Oh, a colostomy bag.
There we go. Colostomy bag.
Not colonoscopy. That's the operation.
Yeah.
Okay. He had to wear a colostomy bag. Yeah.
And there was another eerie thing that one of his last posts on social media was him in the jacuzzi, So I was just like, it's crazy.
Well, that's what the thing was he was there and he was functioning. Oh, here, I'm in the jacuzzi, and then somebody said the day before they were with him and they left a restaurant together. Somebody said they saw him leave, and then he's just sitting there posting in the jacuzzi, and something happens, and it could have been cardiac, which is what everybody assumes, especially when there's drugs and addiction involved. It could have been, I don't know, maybe he did slide under and he passed out from something that was still, my impression is that he kind of had it all a little bit more under control.
Yeah.
And that, but you never know. You can slide back into it very easily. And so
it sucks. You do everything. you try to eat right, you try to do well for, other people, your kids, whatever the case may be. But when it's your time, it's your time.
Yeah, that's the whole other side of it.
That's what sucks.
Is the idea that hey, okay, well, this is when he was supposed to go. So good for him, Shenandler Bong.
Shenandler Bong, yeah.
We'll always remember him, and I wanted to give proper respects to him. And do you want to add anything to that?
No.
I don't know what else to add besides the fact that, man, dude, you make me laugh still. You always will. So
too soon,
yeah. As usual. And I was trying to think of a good quote right there to end it, but there's too many of them. What's the cliche? Rest in peace, Matthew.
You're
and,
right.
You were awesome. So we'll move on if you want to. I have another. I'm going to go ahead and do another tribute, if you're okay with that.
Sure.
So it hits home to me because this guy actually had a quick stint with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Okay.
Which is my favorite hockey team. And so this guy is playing in the UK right now, which, if we have to talk, hockey in the UK isn't. I mean, I could probably make the team.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm obviously I'm not.
I figure hockey would still be a little bit more popular over there, though.
I'm not totally serious. I mean, there's some solid players that go over there that don't make the NHL, and they go over there. It's England, it's the UK, and so it's Scotland too. Like when I lived in Glasgow, I went to some of their games, and sometimes their hockey pants are like tartans. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
So, but this guy Adam Johnson, so he died at 29.
Oh, shit.
He died from a skate blade to the neck.
I heard about this.
Okay, so you did hear about this.
I heard about that. I didn't know that was his name.
Yeah, Adam Johnson. And it was one of those freak plays where you come together and if you hit each other head on in hockey, for those that don't know, it's a legal hit. I mean, you hit unless you hit high with your stick or your elbows.
Right.
Or you going for the head or something. You throw hip, you throw whatever.
Shoulder.
You can't go knee to knee. You can't take out, you can't trip. You obviously can't trip somebody with your stick on their skates. But if you're going and there's a collision and it's not it's unintentional, it's fine. It's hockey. So what happened was they hit each other head on, and the guy. I mean, I can't imagine being this guy that his skate hit.
No, I can't. Yeah.
So when you hit and you fly across each other, your legs will fly up in the air sometimes. Right. And it hit him.
Wow.
It just right across the neck, and people are like, teammates are like, we've never seen so much blood at once. This is what makes me sick. Is he got up right after it happened with blood everywhere, and he skated for about 3 seconds before he fell and then died. Like apparently he was dead when they got out there. He was not breathing. And it's just crazy. So
29.
Yeah, 29. So
God Almighty.
But hockey. I think there's been 2 or 3 incidents like this where people passed in the history of hockey.
I was about to say I've never heard of this before.
One guy, I think it was actually maybe only one fatality. One was, I feel bad. I forget his name, but it wasn't too long ago, and he had longish blonde. In case he's listening to the show, I want to make sure he knows I know who he is. I just can't remember his name. And he had it to where his they were talking about a certain artery in the neck by a thread. It was it almost. I mean, it had it by it. No, it got it, but it wasn't. It didn't completely separate it, which would have killed him.
Gotcha.
According to the doctors. And so anyway, it happens. But this. I mean, with the skate blades, I mean, these things are sharp.
That's crazy.
But it's rare that you get it to where it'll get it perfectly like that.
Yeah.
I mean, people will get nicks and they'll be like, But this guy, poor kid. I mean, Adam Johnson. Rest in peace to you too, buddy. And he just gave his life to hockey, and again, I know it sounds whatever, but died doing what he loved to do.
Yeah, I can't imagine like you said, the guy that actually was wearing the skate. That
I can't either, and it reminds me of a incident in hockey where a while ago. I don't know if you heard about this, but it was in Columbus, and it was before they put those nets behind all the way up to the roof of the arenas. And a guy took a slap shot and it deflected and it killed a girl.
Holy shit.
Hit her straight in the head and just killed a young girl. I think she was like 8. And this guy, I mean, imagine that. And he talked about mentally how even though he's deflected it wasn't even like full on. And
even if
even if it was, it's a hockey game. You're at a hockey game, you at your own risk. But man, I mean, it reminds me of that. I mean, where something unintentional like that could do whatever. So I feel for the guy who skated. It was as well, and no one talks about him, of course, because the other guy died. But I hope he's understanding that it's all part of the game. And unless he was doing anything intentional, he needs to hopefully get through that and understand that it was an accident. So the last tribute I want to do tonight. I mean, he's just dying left and right. The world's oldest dog.
I heard about this too. Was he 31?
Maybe we should collaborate through the show. Before we do a show. He was 31 years old.
Wow.
And he was in Portugal. And he was the world's oldest dog ever. And he passed the other one was 29. And so he passed it by far. He didn't just pass it by a day and then go, okay, I got the record. I'm going to die. He's like, I'm going to keep going with this.
Right.
Shit.
Nobody's going to catch this one.
So that's 217 in human years.
Holy crap.
Now you did a story about how scientists believe that the first person to live to 200 has already been born.
Already been born, yeah.
Maybe this guy, I think his name was Robbie or something like that. Bobby or Bobi, one of the two. B-O-B-I. He died, and he was in Portugal.
They say what kind of dog is it?
And they said, not to where I've seen it at this point while I'm stalling.
No worries. 31 years old. That's pretty freaking amazing.
They said Australian cattle dog. Whatever the hell that is.
Exactly, an Australian cattle dog.
But they said that the owner was like, you know what? There's no secret. Because everyone's like, well, how the hell did he eats what we eat?
Interesting. Okay.
So okay. I mean, maybe the dog just lived because he was happy as shit. He's like, I get a fillet tonight.
Some good. 31 years old. Wow.
Little sushi action coming in there. Yeah. So 31. That's insane. I mean, I
know my mom. Our first dog I remember lived to be either 19 or 20. So I thought that was amazing. So
that is amazing. My dog, unfortunately, only lived to like 11 because he had arthritis. That's my first dog. My second was maybe 12 or 13. I mean, I always thought that 13, 14 was like, that was it.
Yeah.
And that's because I was always a big dog, golden retrievers, labs. That's kind of what their thing is. I think the smaller dogs can live a little longer. But anyway, so that is just a slew of different types of...
that was a nice tribute.
Of tributes that we needed to do tonight. We had Matthew Perry, we had Adam Johnson, the hockey player, and we had Bobi or Roby, whatever the fuck his name was.
Bobby?
Bob something. The oldest dog ever at 31 years old, which is crazy. So let's get away from the sadness, right?
Please.
I'm going to get away from the sadness because we're going to go back to a few funny stories. This show... kind of our serious topic, that was it. So if you're looking for something really intense, that was it. Matthew Perry, hockey player, and a dog died. And then we're going to move on. Okay. So there was a man in Florida.
There we go.
I found it. And as soon as I saw Florida, I was like, well, no matter what, I'm going to tell the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a 77-year-old man in Florida who was arrested. And he lived in a huge retirement community. I'm talking like they're saying like 20,000 people in this whole big community.
Nice.
And he was arrested because he got illegal erectile dysfunction drugs shipped in illegal.
Okay.
And he was looking to distribute them among the neighborhood.
That's what I'm talking about. That's my buddy right there. He's ready to party.
80,000 full-time residents, and apparently. This is the villages, it says it's no stranger to stories about the sex lives of its residents.
There we go.
Rumors about swingers, public sex, high rates of STDs have swirled around the retirement community.
What's the name of this place? How do we get in?
It's in Tampa Bay. How do we get in? You got to get our name on the list now.
That's what I'm talking about. There must be a waiting list very long.
There are, anyway, this area apparently is like 3 times more than Florida overall when it comes to like sexually transmitted.
Damn.
So this guy's like, I'm gonna bring in these. I'm gonna distribute them. He's like an erectile dysfunction dealer.
That's what I'm talking about.
And now he's in jail.
You think he was pimping the golf cart with the gold chain and
He's like, "What's up? Hey,
Scratching his balls the whole time.
Hey, why don't you come on over here for a second?" And
I got a blue pill for you. How many you need, Harold?
Yeah. But apparently, he's in prison for 1 year.
1 year.
1 year, which is, at 77. I mean,
That's
come
a
on,
long
that's a
year.
and that's just for selling a little bit of some ED pills. I think you may not need those in prison.
Oh my God! Can you imagine being on the jury for that? Really?
The judge is like, "A year, you're out." I just saw this and I was sitting there going, "All right, I don't think I'm mad at him. I think I'm like, all right, dude. I mean, look, you guys need to be careful out there but why?
You should be passing out condoms.
You're 85 and you're banging and you have STD. It's like, oh well.
Oh yeah.
Oh well.
Uh-huh.
I lived a life. I'm in a retirement community. We're in our little bubble and everybody's just banging.
Do you think they confiscated, or do you think they just passed it out for the rest of the men that were there?
Yeah, they're like,
just take them.
Well, we kind of technically have to take you in, but you know what? We want you guys to have some fun.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what it is, but so that was funny, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is my favorite one because this is I'm gonna have to ask you to stop doing this.
Uh-oh.
I'm just going to give you the headline. There's a thrift store that's charity, that's run by charity. So
Okay.
it's not like they either buy a lot of product. It's charity. People give to this store, and it's a thrift store, and then they turn around, they sell small, and that's how they stay in business. They're begging people, not just asking. They're begging people to stop donating used and unused sex toys.
Yes.
So Trey,
stop doing it.
Stop, especially the used ones, okay? Because can you imagine? You just get a donation. It's a crate of but used. Who would sit there and be like, you know what, honey, we're done with this one. Let's go ahead and donate it. Other people may get something out of it.
I tell you, the last sex toy I had,
God,
I actually broke it within the first weekend. That thing was hard to clean, but man, it did what it needed to do. But it was just
So would you ever think like, you know what, other people can take advantage of this?
So I would hope.
Oh, here we go.
What I would hope is that it was accidentally left in the box or put in the box, and they didn't realize it was there.
They're begging people to stop. It's like continuous. It's happening constantly.
Okay. So it's not.
So it's either one big joke.
Where'd you say it was? What city?
All right, I'm going to try and do. Oh, it's actually overseas. It's in Swansea, Wales.
Wales, okay, yeah, those
whalers. Yeah, those whalios,
whalyites,
something. But it's just funny because it's like they're actually putting out some sort of ad or something. Please stop this.
That's pretty funny.
And so I thought immediately, I was like, Trey, for fuck's sakes.
That'd be great if it's a behind the scenes joke that people are doing.
Yeah, just everybody. And now, well, you can't. That's why you can't say this. If you put out something that says, please stop doing it, you're basically saying, do it. Because now everyone's going to go.
Now everybody's going to go buy one and do it. Yeah.
Because it said used and unused.
I would definitely go do it. Yeah.
But why would somebody send an unused? Were they like, oh, I'm going to get it from my girl, and then she broke up with him, and he's like, well, now I don't need it anymore?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Here's a quote. Well, here's a couple quotes, actually, if you'd like, because this is really funny, isn't it? Could those of you who kindly donate please be mindful that we are a children's charity, and as such, we have a range of ages on our wonderful volunteer team, which means I interpret that as people of all ages are receiving these shipments. Secondly, we therefore ask that you refrain from donating your used and unused marital aids.
Marital aids, wow.
We would like to remind you that the branch has a CCTV so that these items can be traced back to their owners. Thank you. A representative for the charity source said the statement came back for some recent inappropriate donations. We're always hugely appreciative of donations from the community, but it's fair to say that these items aren't quite the sort of toys we're looking for. For the kids.
Wow.
Wow. That to me was my favorite one. So
these are not the toys.
These aren't the toys we're looking for our children.
Yeah.
I don't have an ending. I just can't imagine. I could get it if it was like a couple, like one or two are like, all right, we don't need this, whatever anymore.
But why take it to the thrift store though?
That's what I mean. Well, they're sending it in boxes. They're donating it, and
that's the last place I can think of. I want to take a sex toy,
especially a used one. Like, first off, how do they know that they're used?
Oh,
is it just because it's out of the packaging?
Oh, I hope so.
I bet it's not only because it's out of the pack. I bet they know other ways, and we won't talk about it. Oh. Trey and I even have a line. Do we just find our line? We're not going to cross it on how they know there are used dildos.
Yeah, that's our line. Yeah. We'll just assume
We'll assume that
they figured out a way.
We'll assume that it was because it was not in its original packaging.
There we go. That's it. They didn't find any short and curlies on it or something like that.
God. Oh. Can you imagine the opening up and just like this huge, like wobbly toy with short and curly?
It just keeps sliding out of your hand as you try to grab it.
It's hopping around the floor. Everybody's trying to get it.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Yeah, that was a funny story. So Trey, stop it. Just stop it.
Oh.
So, all right, I'm gonna do something here before we kind of get towards the end of the show, and we'll do it fairly fast. But I was talking to my wife again, Trey. I tend to do that. We're married, and she came up to me and it was very, very nice. She said, because I think she overheard some of our show that I was listening to. But I was listening to an older show. I'm always wanting to improve, Trey. I'm trying to get better.
Yeah.
And she came up to me in our bathroom, not literally the toilet, at the sink where I was getting ready for our date night. She came up and said, I'm really proud of this thing because I wanted to listen to more. And when I heard this, 5 minutes, and I said, so we're 49 episodes in, and you just now listened to 5. Said you'd listen to more. Well, that's so sweet of you.
Yeah.
But the thing was, it was sweet for her.
Yeah.
I think there are many reasons she doesn't listen. I think the first one is it's us. She knows us.
I can't imagine.
The second reason is she's scared of what she's going to hear.
Yeah.
The third reason is it's us. The fourth reason is I think
still scared.
She's still scared, and I think the main reason is that she's just not. This isn't her deal,
right?
When she has time to listen to something, she's admitted I listen to other things, and so I said, well, what kind of other things are you talking? What are you listening to right now? I mean, she and I both listened to Rogan before and some similar things, and I'm like, well, you listen to Joe. I mean, just because he's got 180 quadrillion followers doesn't mean you can't start listening to us.
Right. He started somewhere too, right?
Right. But she said that she listens these days to self-help podcasts. So I started thinking, do we have the talent and the ability to do self-help podcasts?
I don't think so.
You don't even want to explore this. You want to explore this.
We could try it.
No, just this discussion. You don't want to explore. Let me give you.
Can you give me an example?
These are the 12, and I'll go fast. The 12 most important personal development self-help topics, and let me see how you feel you are with each one.
Let's roll.
And if we feel good about it, we're gonna change platforms.
On the spot?
Not funny. We don't need to be funny. We need to be this. We're just going to motivate. Number one is confidence. How confident are you as a man?
In what?
Just confidence, Trey.
I don't know. I don't think I'm very confident.
Career and interview skills.
Oh. I think I'm pretty good at interviewing.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Well, no. Depends on the questions. If they ask me those questions.
Okay, so confidence has been answered by number 2.
Yeah. Name a time when this happened. I'm bad at that. Because then I got to think about it.
Number 3 is being motivated.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at that.
Okay. Communication, which is listening, public speaking, and presenting.
Huh?
Number 5 is strengths and weaknesses, being able to admit them.
I'm good at that.
Okay.
My therapist says I am anyway.
Oh, that's good. Self-understanding.
About what?
About self.
About self.
About yourself. Do you understand yourself, or do you need time?
Oh, no.
Okay.
And medication usually helps me understand.
Leadership.
Actually, I think I'm pretty decent at that.
Okay. Optimism, positivity, and happiness.
Not too good at that.
Organization, efficiency.
Horrible.
Families, parenting, relationships. Even I'm laughing at that. Okay, but we didn't even answer. Purpose, passion, and vision for the future.
No.
Assertiveness and attitude.
Sometimes I have an attitude.
Okay, that was 12. And I think they were like one. There's like
And a
one.
half?
You were like, okay, 1.5. You were like, all right, maybe.
We can do something like that.
So I'm thinking that we're probably not the best show to do self-help. We have so many problems between the two of us that for motivation, people will be like, why would we listen to you guys?
Right.
I mean, I think we're, I don't know. I feel like we can motivate, but anyway.
I can't tell you to be super confident as I'm crying in the microphone. That would
Right.
not work out too well.
Yeah. If we're doing a show and you're like crying on my shoulder, how are we supposed to shake that off?
Or give you relationship advice as I'm leaving my divorce lawyer's office.
That may have been the funniest one was when I said family and relationship.
Yeah.
And you didn't even.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me give you these real quick.
Okay.
So there's some quotes from some of these self-help shows and self-help books. There's a couple that caught my eye, and I want to see if you think that you know what these mean and if you can use them to motivate somebody. So if you think, like, could we take this quote right here
Okay.
and turn our show into a self-help show? Look inside yourself instead of outside yourself. What does that mean to you?
I don't know. I think I've mentioned that in a date before, though.
Look inside yourself.
Or maybe that's what he told me.
God,
Sorry.
that's absolutely disgusting. not that a gay relationship. It's Trey. I mean, anyway.
Look inside yourself.
Look inside yourself, but instead
and
of
give
outside.
me my toy back.
Yeah. Okay.
We've got to donate that.
The next one is authenticity is a superpower. Does that make any sense?
Authenticity is being authentic.
Yeah,
Is a
being
superpower.
genuine, authentic. That's a superpower.
Because I'm genuinely an asshole, so that's
Okay,
my
fair enough.
superpower.
But I think what they're saying is that there are a lot of people that aren't
fake.
aren't genuine, and so to be truly authentic is like you must be a superhero.
Yeah, so you don't have to be fake around people.
Yeah. So this is the kind of shit that we would have to say. That's I guess
I feel like I'm pretty authentic on this show.
Yeah, but can you see us saying this shit though?
No.
We're very transparent on this show. I mean, we'll tell you straight up, right? But I can't say this type of stuff.
No, I couldn't say
What
that.
about relationships are assignments?
Relationships are
I mean, you.
My therapist told me that once.
Well, look, if it looks like a chore or an assignment, that's your relationships,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's an assignment rather than just a relationship.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like
so.
homework, like going home. You got a
Yeah.
project due, and you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay. The last one is this is the one that I hate because I get so mad at the universe. The universe always will have your back. And I don't agree with that.
No, that's bullshit.
I mean, right? There have been
I can
days,
say that.
this has been days where I could hear the universe laughing at
Saying,
me. I mean,
"Fuck you."
just laughing and being like, oh, what else can I do? I'm gonna make this fall in front of him and he's gonna trip.
Right?
Yeah, that kind of
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I believe that.
I just wanted to ask because my wife just said that she's talking about spirit guides and shit and all that kind of I don't think that's our path.
Could be funny though.
Do you think what we do now is probably where we should stay?
Probably.
If anybody else thinks differently and thinks we have a true shot at being a good self-help podcast, can you imagine Stay in the Gray podcast has now become self-help?
Yeah.
So our information is no longer like we want controversy and laughter. We're going to give you motivation, inspiration.
We want the beaten and broken.
The sun comes up tomorrow.
Yeah.
The beaten and broken. We get that, but we want it in a different way.
Yeah.
We want your expectations to be different.
Right.
Anyway, so
Oh my gosh.
that my wife inspired that bit a little bit. I just wanted to talk about that. And
Trey, you
but
can't
she
cry during the show
Yeah.
and be confident
Yeah.
about what you're saying.
I think my goal is to make you cry somehow
Yeah?
on the show, just so that we can all be there for you. All right. We're gonna move on.
Shit.
I still think that I want people to tell me. And the question on Spotify, and in case you haven't noticed, when we go put our show on Spotify, there is a poll question every week or every show that we put out about some content on the show. listen to the show and answer the damn question. It's not that hard.
Pretty simple.
So this week's is going to be, do you think Trey and Ryan should do a self-help podcast instead of what we do?
I like it.
I'm as long as I don't put one of the answers as Trey and Ryan should do no podcast.
Yeah, I'm still getting harassed about it. Switching to an iPhone too. So,
did you make that decision?
No.
That vote came in heavy for iPhone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay, but okay.
I'm getting harassed by that.
Okay, well, hey, I don't really care. The damage is done. My texts to you are green, and I'm ready for that now.
Good.
If they're blue, I might be freaked out.
Throwing you off a little bit?
All of a sudden, one day, I'm like, wait a second.
I might save that as a surprise.
There you go. Boring as surprise, but okay. All right, do our 5 states.
Okay.
Some people are like, oh, yay, this will be cool. And some people are like, oh, God.
Each state that they're worst at.
Each thing that
There you go. Good job.
I couldn't have set it up better. The thing that each state is worst at. Did I say it right?
Yeah. So we're in the K's.
We're in the K's. What was the last state? Were we in the K's at all yet?
No.
So we're going to go Kansas?
There you go.
Okay, so Kansas.
So Kansas.
Well, let's not guess everything. Let's just tell them, because I realized when I was listening back, I was like, no one gives a shit about our guesses. Let's just tell people the information. So in Kansas, it's in the middle of nowhere. What are they worst at?
Ugliest scenery.
I thought you were going to say something else.
No. Ugliest scenery.
Scenery. Ugliest?
Yeah. It says, have you seen The Wizard of Oz and wondered why it starts in black and white? So it turns out Kansas does not look like that in the eyes of most Americans, at least.
In the black and white?
That didn't make sense. Anyway.
Well, the ugliest seems a little harsh. Maybe the most boring.
Oh, it says, turns out Kansas does look like that.
Oh, that's what I thought they were getting at, was the black and white's all blah.
Yeah. So
No,
blah.
yeah, whatever.
Anyway.
You were confused by a basic sentence. That's okay.
Thanks for the motivation.
See, self-help. I'm perfect.
Don't be stupid.
Dumbass.
Reading is fundamental.
Don't be a dipshit. Self-help from Stay in the Great podcast.
There we go.
Okay. Next one would be Kentucky.
So yes. So
Okay.
Kentucky is the next one. And this might be, we might need to become advocates for, what's the worst here? I don't know how to say that. Anyway, worst to be an animal.
The worst state to be an animal? Is that because like hunting is so predominant there or something?
See what they write in here. It says the Kentucky Wildcats have won 8 NCAA championships, but being an actual Wildcat is no fun in the state. It says they are unprecedented 7-year run of being the worst states for animal protection.
Oh, so people can just go out and shoot these guys, and
guess
like
so.
no one cares. The authorities are like, okay, one less Wildcat.
Stay in the Gray says, "Fuck you, Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't want Wildcats.
Take care of our animals out."
You're just saying that because you're scared of the mountain lions.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the bobcats.
Even house cats.
So next one.
Yeah, Kentucky, A B C D E F G H I J K L, Louisiana.
Oh shit, this one hits hard.
Okay, Louisiana, hit us.
Don't you have some family members
Yeah,
there
I
now?
have in-laws that are there now. So, but look, we didn't write this, so you can say it.
Highest murder rate.
Oh God, really?
Shit.
It's got to be New Orleans.
So it says Louisiana has the highest murder rate and the highest rate of death by firearm. Think twice about partying around after Mardi Gras night or after a Mardi Gras night out with your friends.
Wait, seriously? So Louisiana has the highest?
That's what it says.
Whoa. Of all the other cities, you hear about Baltimore, Detroit, Chicago, all these, but you're telling me Louisiana? Okay.
And it was, I'm looking at the date, and it's actually as of May of this year. So,
Well, I can't deny whatever the source it is that you got this from. So,
because my sources are.
well, I need to tell my in-laws to be careful.
Yeah.
Apparently. Okay, Louisiana. Are there any more L's? No. LM. Oh, there's a shit ton of M's. Massachusetts.
Come on.
Maryland.
No.
Maine.
There you go.
There we go. I lived in Maine. That's why he was giving me shit.
This was kind of dumb. Fewest helicopters or heliports. I'm sorry. I can't even fucking read it. I'm calling it dumb. Fewest heliports.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Who cares?
You probably have to drive over to nearby New Hampshire just to land the helicopter.
Who gives a shit about that?
Tough, but at least you have the money for a helicopter.
Who cares? That's
the worst in Maine.
Look, maybe that's because for all my Maine friends, there's not a lot that's bad up there. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But that's stupid.
That's the heliports. That's the only thing they could find was bad.
I don't realize I know this isn't the best segment we do. It's only half of me wants to get to Texas.
Yeah.
But I think it is also interesting.
Yeah.
But that's
dumb.
They couldn't come up with something else than the least amount of helicopter pads.
Heliports, yeah.
Okay.
Is that number 4?
Maine, get your shit together and get some more
heliports.
helicopter pads so that Cray and I can come up there on our tour. Okay.
On a helicopter, yeah.
On a helicopter. No, you did Kansas, Kentucky. Yeah, that's number 4. So we have one more, which would be Maryland. Or is it Maryland?
Yeah, it is Maryland.
Okay, Maryland.
Sorry, I just laughed at the.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go. Maryland. It's going to be funny, right, Trey?
Worst at incarcerating the elderly.
Yes.
So good thing the guy selling pills wasn't doing it in Maryland.
Yeah.
He'd been fucking executed. Says apparently in Maryland, the elderly can literally get away with murder. Well, somewhat. Says just 7.5% of the state's inmates are over the age of 50, and that's about half the rate nationwide.
Is that like when we used to we would laugh like, oh, Bernard, he farted again, like whatever. Oh, Bernard, he just slit Gladys's throat in her sleep.
They've got this little couple walking down the street.
Oh man. Like, oh, he robbed that store.
Fucked up.
He just whatever. He's old.
Up.
Who cares?
So yeah, don't fuck up in Maryland if you're old.
Yeah, this guy with erectile dysfunction pills in Florida, he'd be in jail for like the rest of his life.
Yeah.
They might have just executed him right there.
Right, just shoot him dead.
Well, good for you, Maryland. Okay, that's
assholes.
That's our 5 states for tonight. We'll do self-awareness really fast, and then we'll wrap up. Did you have a self-awareness? I forget.
No.
I could
have a good one. I need to write this shit down.
No,
better.
I'm
gonna pissed off and forget to write it down.
I'm gonna go out on a limb tonight.
Uh-oh.
And you have 2 successful divorces.
Yeah, I do.
Well, I might have one after this.
Uh-oh.
Because I'm gonna go ahead and talk about some things in the home here.
Okay.
That I just don't understand.
That's a good one. Yeah.
You're excited. You're like,
yeah.
Well, and in all fairness, it's not just my wife. It's people around, and I'm not going to call. I can call my wife out because whatever. But the people around, maybe some in-laws, maybe some grandparents here and there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm throwing your way?
I feel you.
Okay, let me ask you a
Picking up
question.
what you're putting down.
Let me ask you a question. If there's a trash can in your kitchen,
okay,
and you open it up,
yeah,
and it has 2 trash bags in it,
right?
Most of the time, one is a blue bag for recycle and one is regular. But these are 2 white bags, and it's been known. I've told everybody this isn't a surprise that both these bags are that we don't recycle
just trash,
because our neighborhood and the recycle is all messed up right now. We're trying to figure it out. It's all trash. If you see all of the trash 3/4 of the way up on one side, would you throw a half-filled Coca-Cola can in the other side that's completely empty?
Half-filled can, so it's
well, just anything. Honestly, I mean, I'm using this because it happened recently. Anything that had liquid or any trash, I'm going to lose it here because obviously I don't want to take both bags out each night. I want to take one bag out because we don't have that much trash.
Oh, I see where you're going with that.
So if you see one side completely full and one side's completely empty, why would you throw your shit in the empty side when the other one's not full?
Yeah, that's true.
Am I off here?
A little bit, but I see your point.
You think I'm over exaggerating?
I guess it depends on what you're throwing in.
Because let me tell you. Hold on. Let me tell you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Because in the empty one recently, I won't say how recently, tonight. There was a one of those small mini Coke cans, and that was it with maybe a piece. Okay, fine. If somebody forgets, my kid throws his lollipop wrapper, I'm not going to yell at my almost 4-year-old.
Right.
I'll go in and get the lollipop. Fine. But this was a can one of the little bitty ones, and there was like half of Coke left in the thing. Guess what? That gets out of the can.
Please tell me you spilled it on yourself.
Oh, all over the floor.
Okay, even better.
Even better. My issue with it is that I can't, if it was just a couple things, okay, I can leave it till, it fills up. It's not a big deal. But if it's that, I can't just leave it in there because it's like standing liquid.
Right.
So I have to take a bag out, which has nothing in it, waste the bag, put it in. You see where I'm going with this? It just seems like people...
You couldn't leave the bag in there with liquid in it?
No, because then the bag will start disintegrating.
Does it?
Not disintegrate. That's the wrong word. That's if it was like acid.
Well,
but it weakens.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. It is soda. It weakens and then it gets everywhere. It gets everywhere. So I take the trash every night because of that. So anything that's liquid, anything that's food is out of the house.
Yeah, food. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. So don't throw shit. It just, again, it's an awareness. It's kind of like when you open the trash, you just be like, okay, well, why is one of them almost full and one of them has absolutely nothing in it? Here, let me just toss it in. And to me, that's awareness. Am I wrong? You can say yes.
I think you need to get awareness that you're getting old and crotchety right now.
It sounds like I'm over exaggerating.
A little bit.
Are you trying to get points with my wife and family?
Now, I will back you if it's food. Then yes, don't throw fucking food in there because then yes, of course it's going to start smelling and stuff like that before you can get it thrown out. So yes, if it's food, yeah.
But you don't think there's any.
My issue with the Coke can is pour the liquid out before you throw the can in there.
Well,
that would be my issue.
Okay, fair enough. But even when you pour it out, there's still some that gets out.
Now,
all right. Let's
pour it out.
Let's move on. I've made my point, and I think that everybody. We're gonna have six. We're gonna have 6 poll questions, and one of them is gonna be: Is Ryan right about the fucking trash can? Okay, this next one's got to be. You got to agree. With
Send it.
The next one.
Okay.
The first one, fine. You think I'm being a little bit?
Bitch.
I'm being a little bit, and you said flat out, I'm being a bitch. All right, fair enough. The next one is very simple. This is the most simple awareness for a household that someone can have. When you have a completely empty dishwasher,
okay, and
you begin to load it throughout the day, how do you load it? Front to back or back to front?
I would say back to front.
Thank you, Trey. Thank you.
Damn it.
Yeah, you want it. I know you want it, but this one, I knew at least this one you were going to be on my side with. I can come up with some other household stuff where you'll be like, nope, you're being an asshole. But this one, people really, if you start loading in the front, then you can't. You got to get.
Trey.
You got to. No, thank you though. You got to get around it and back, and then, and then this. How do you load your forks? Do you put them down or up?
Up.
Oh, well, there we go. We disagree on that. Let me ask you a question. If you're going to go in there and you empty your dishwasher, how many times have you stabbed yourself with those forks? A decent amount, right? Accidentally? No? You
haven't yet.
Well, my point.
You know what? I take that back. I'm trying to.
Or
think
what about the knives? You put your knives down, right?
I do put the knives down.
Okay. Well, anyway, I just feel like there's some common sense stuff that doesn't. I open the dishwasher midday into the day, and it's like it's just chaos, and it if I have anxiety, it just triples, just like, oh my God. Because I'm like,
remember this.
I don't understand. I don't understand the mindset of whoever put this there, and how does this go there? And you've basically eliminated a half of the space that I would have to finish out the evening's process, which is the kids' stuff, our dinner stuff, because that's me. I do that every night.
Okay.
And I do that, and I think my wife. I think my wife's figured it out. And she's like, well, if I do it, I'll do it wrong. So I'm just not going to do it. And you can do it. And I'm like, well, fine. Wait a second. What just happened here? I got tricked. So now I have to do it every night.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I don't do it right. I'm going to have to remember that.
That worked in my favor one time doing laundry. My ex-wife decided that I didn't do it right. So she was going to do it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. All right. Well,
not going to argue this one.
As upset as that makes me, I'm going to go ahead and let you do my laundry. Yeah, that's what that reminds. I mean, that's what happened. I mean, she goes, essentially, she's like, if you think I load the dishwasher wrong, then you do it. I'm like, all right, whatever. You know what? I don't care if any of you think this is boring, because this is very important to me, and it's important in your household, right, Trey?
Absolutely.
If you load the dishwasher, let's say you have a cup, put it in the back first. Why? Why not? Put it in the back first and work your way back to the front. It's easier. It makes more sense.
With a lot of things, if you have to. Sorry. At least that's what the videos show.
Those are my two, and I,
I'm trying to think of some good ones.
I kind of went ahead and put it on the same show that we talked about my wife on, because I don't think she's listening.
So you can just piss her right the fuck off.
That's the point. So since she's admitted, okay, I'm not really listening to the show. So either that happens and she doesn't hear this, or she does listen and I just get it all out of the way.
Yeah.
So what else can I tell you about my wife?
That's
on one show. No, she's lovely. She's beautiful.
I'm trying to think of some good stuff back in the day that it used to frustrate me, like as far as
like relationship people living together.
Yeah, it's like whenever.
Oh, I've got a list, by the way, but I just thought I'd give you two.
Like whenever she would ask me to do something, I didn't feel the need for her to keep reminding me month after month to do it. You know, it's like, you already told me once, I'll get it done. You know, and literally, I know that was funny.
No, a month after. I mean, it just hits home. So I'm just kind of like, okay, go ahead.
There was times where whenever she would ask me to do something, I had to learn this. She meant then, right then,
right.
Not when you have time. If I didn't get up and do it right then, she was doing it and huffing and puffing.
Yeah,
the whole time.
It's so funny that you say that, because the other day. It's so funny because the other day, and it wasn't anything major. It was like, I was like, all right, well, I need to text this person about that. You know, my wife and I were talking about some plans or something. Oh, I need to text her. And then I just started doing something else. She goes, why don't you just go do it now? Your phone's right over there. Just go do it. I'm like, oh, I'll get to it. And then of course I never do.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. So that was funny. That's from
yeah.
But there's a lot. Maybe we could do introduce a whole new segment about just like relationship stuff in the house, because man, it's tough to live with a spouse.
I can't even imagine with kids now, because with the dogs, it was funny. I would anytime you could smell that the dog made a mess, right? Mm-hmm. And I would act like I was asleep, just long enough for my ex-wife to get up, and I could hear her say, "Now who used the restroom on the floor?" Talking to the dogs. And then I wait a little bit longer, and then I hear a flush. I'm like, okay, let me get up and,
like,
hey, babe, do you need any help with that?
Yeah, what happened? I'll get it.
I didn't hear that. You want me to finish cleaning? Oh, you already got it all? Okay, I'll go back to sleep.
Just straight up. I'll get it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's already done.
It's already done.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You should have woke me up. I would have helped out with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
so. And then when I got banished upstairs before we got divorced, I definitely didn't come down until.
Oh, well, sure.
So I was like,
first off, anytime you have to say you got banished upstairs in a marriage, things aren't going well.
Yeah, she can clean that up. She'll be all right. So.
Yeah. There's lots. I mean, anyway, relationships are hard no matter who you are. I don't care if you think you're a perfect couple, you're full of shit.
Right.
Not everybody lives the same way. I mean, from toilet paper rolls up or down, over, under to, to whatever. And you just have to learn to kind of work through each other's habits. And,
right.
I don't go to bed a lot at the same time. My wife goes to bed at a certain time and I go a little later. I've always been a night owl. Well, the other night I was like, well, you know what? I'm exhausted. I'm gonna lay in here. The TV on, my phone going. She's tossing insurance. She's like, this sucks.
Yeah.
She's like, I thought I wanted you to go to bed at the same time.
Yeah.
And obviously we'll find a way to make it work.
Figure that out.
As we get older, but it's just funny.
Watching TV.
Yeah, I'm just having the TV. I'm like laughing at Friends. Speaking of, like,
babe, did you see that?
Yeah, that was great. And so we'll figure it out. But there's a lot, and so I'll think of some more hopefully, and they're funny. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. But
that's funny.
But tonight, we had a little serious with Matthew Perry, and that's so sad. And again, I'll say it again. I wish that hadn't happened, and he means a lot to us. That was our generation. I mean, when Friends came out, we were 16 years old. I think it was 94 when it came out. 16. and then you watch it for 10 years, 16 through 26.
Well, my God, he was only 54 too.
And he's 54. I'm just saying that the impact of that show.
Yeah.
You know, people that are people that are younger than us don't get it. I mean, as much because it's like they watch the reruns.
People that are younger are bitching about it right now.
I used to wait. What? Oh yeah, that's true. They're bitching.
What?
Yeah, I was like, wait a second. No, they're bitching about the content, whatever. Yeah. And you know what? Right now, don't even. If I hear something like that, I'll get fired up. But from where we were, I mean, it was that impactful, and you used to wait every Thursday. It was Thursday night, and I'd wait. I'd be like, tonight's Friends, and this is before streaming and all that bullshit. And it meant a lot, and God, I mean, can you imagine if like Aniston died?
Yeah.
Or if Matt LeBlanc or any of these other, it's really sad that I knew it was probably going to be Matthew Perry first, but I didn't think it was going to be at 54.
Yeah.
You know?
Not at 50, yeah.
So watch some Friends tonight, everybody, and enjoy it and laugh at Matthew Perry and keep it up because he's great.
I'm definitely going to do that when I get home.
But, the rest of the show is pretty much just us bullshitting with stories about dumbasses.
Yeah.
Which is, that's really where we are. I'm going to go ahead and answer the question. We're not going to be a self-help podcast.
Probably going to laugh at you a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to laugh at you. That's what would happen. We'd be like, all right, you need to believe in yourself. And then we'd be like, God, maybe not.
Yeah. You need to drink more. You need to
I don't think
take more drugs. You need to
I don't think it's looking good for you.
No. I think it was your fault on that one, buddy.
So we'll continue to hopefully give you some laughs, and we'll talk about some serious topics. Again, we've got hopefully some people coming up. Guess what? Israel and Palestine and Hamas is still going on. Imagine that. So we'll get to that, and we'll flip our switch and go a little serious. But you will always get funny and stupid.
Yeah.
Right?
Sometimes serious, yeah.
Sometimes serious. So on that note, we'll see you on the next one.
Later.
Love you guys.
Do you think that man on the golf cart was actually taking some toys to the charity, just trying to get there on time, and the cops were no?
You know what's funny about it is that was just so bad, so bad.
That was dumb.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone listens at this point anyway.